This is Tribe Talk.
I'm Coach Sleeve, Athletic Director and Head Football Coach here at Northside ISD. And for this episode of Tribe Talk, want to talk about a story that came back to mind this week based on what we had going on. And an event that took place this week reminding me about a situation from when I was in high school. Went to high school in Wisconsin, and wrestling is a pretty big sport in the state of Wisconsin. In fact, you have to go through a regional tournament in order to qualify for sectionals, and you have to go through a sectional tournament in order to qualify for state. And had a classmate that went into the regional tournament and put together a solid run and ended up advancing to sectionals. And as he got to the sectional tournament, he was hoping to have a good showing and ended up running through the sectional tournament, qualifying for state. He was a junior in high school and qualified for the state wrestling tournament, got down to Madison and opened up the tournament with a series of wins and kept winning, advanced all the way to the state championship match. And in that match, it was tied 2-2 in the last period, if memory serves me correctly. And he ended up losing that match 4-2. So he ended up a state runner-up. He was so close to winning it. And so we come back to school. He had felt dejected about it. And one of our science teachers was also an assistant wrestling coach. And as we had walked out of class that day, stopped a group of us and he'd reached out and handed a sheet over. He didn't say anything, just handed a sheet over. And we went about the rest of our day. A couple class periods later, the friend stops me, he says, "Hey, I'd like you to read this. And I need you to understand this is before TikTok and YouTube shorts and all the information available at your fingertips with a phone. It was one of those things where you had to have a lot more face-to-face." And as he handed me the sheet, I'd opened it up and I'd read the title. And I thought it was fitting for what we have going on right now. And the title is called "The Man in the Arena." It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out where the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred with dust and sweat and even blood, who strives valiantly again and again, but errs and comes up short, but who knows great enthusiasms, great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause. For at best, that person realizes what victory feels like. And at worst, if he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. We didn't realize it at the time. To us, it was just a man in the arena. But what we find out was that it was written by Teddy Roosevelt, the 26th president of the United States. And it was what that classmate needed to remember and remind him, hey, I was at a state championship. I was right there. I competed and I was in the arena. To remind him that it's not the critic that counts, but the person that's actually doing the event. So we couldn't be prouder of the representation we've had with our Northside athletes. We thought some might just need that little reminder. And so we hope that they'll take that, reflect back on what a great run they had. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Tribe Talk.